Hi, everybody. For those that don't know us, we're Vince and Janine Grant, who in 2025 decided to hit the road in our 38-foot Class A motorhome to explore for ourselves our beautiful country, the United States, as well as our neighbors here in North America. Oh, and we must not forget the introduction of Head of Security, Lacey Lou, a 20-pound ferocious 12-year-old skipper key. Our mission for this new adventure in life is to not only see the spectacular views of coastline, deserts, forests, national parks, cities, small towns, and everything in between, but more importantly, the wonderful people who will cross our path. So come along and join us on our new journey. In this video, we're going to pick up from our stay in Olympic National Park in the La Push Quileti territory. The town of La Push is within the boundaries of the Olympic National Park and is occupied by the Quileti tribe who has lived in the area for over 1,000 years. Here we continued to explore the local beaches, First and Second Beach, which are popular destinations and a must-see if you plan to visit Olympic National Park. We'll also take you along with us to our next day in Elwha, just on the outskirts of Port Angeles, where we continued our Olympic National Park journey. On this northern end of the park, we saw Crescent and Sutherland Lake, Hurricane Ridge, Cape Flattery, and the famous Soul Duck Falls. Hope you enjoy the video and thank you for watching. We took a few hours to go check out Second Beach, another hotspot destination, which is located right off of Highway 110. This is a short 1.6 mile out and back hike that was very easy with only about an 80-foot elevation gain. The trail was well shaded with lush rainforest and a cool ocean breeze. Being here in mid-September was awesome. The weather was perfect and the lack of crowds was also a big plus. We couldn't ask for anything better. Once down on the beach, it was just breathtaking. The towering sea stacks out on the ocean, which have been continuing to form over millions of years from erosion, is just a sight to see. And the Sitka spruce trees growing from them make one wonder how this can be. It is known that the Sitka spruce are resilient to salt and strong winds and can survive in a harsh environment. We were also intrigued by the amount of driftwood on the beach. The driftwood that washes up are large trees that fall from strong galing winds and storms that get carried from rivers out into the ocean, some for hundreds of miles, until they find a place to rest on the beaches. Some of these trees are hundreds of years old and become permanent fixtures of art. First Beach was just as amazing as Second Beach, very similar to one another. However, access was much easier since the walk was only about 100 feet from our motorhome, which was in Quileti RV Park. This was a great place to stay, and if you don't have a motorhome, no problem. They have beachfront villas or hotel-style rooms that look to be very nice. And if you just want to spend the day on the beach, there appears to be guest parking, but I check in with the front desk first. The sunsets for each night were all different, and watching them behind the sea stacks was just stunning. From La Push, we drove north on the 101 to Port Angeles. Along the way, we drove along Lake Crescent and Lake Sutherland. It turns out these lakes, according to scientists, were created by a glacier during the Ice Age that over time carved the surrounding mountains and melted to leave the lakes that we see today. However, science also points out that the lakes were, in the beginning, one lake, and around 8,000 years ago, an avalanche occurred that separated the lakes into two. As you can see here, the 101 highway that we drove across is the actual avalanche. It was crazy. Crescent Lake measures 624 feet deep and is the second deepest lake in the state of Washington, giving Lake Chelan the award at a depth of 1,486 feet. A grim fact and some history of Crescent Lake is that in 1929, Mr. and Mrs. Russell Warren went missing, and the mysterious disappearance wasn't solved until 2002, 72 years later, when their 1927 Chevrolet was discovered 170 feet under Lake Crescent. However, on a positive note, Lake Crescent is home to two species of fish only to exist in this lake, the Beardsley and Crescenti cutthroat trout, two types of fish found nowhere else in the world. On the way to Soul Duck Falls, we stopped at Ancient Groves Trail, which was a flat 0.6-mile loop that offered more lush forest with Douglas fir and western hemlock trees older than 200 years old. Here we found more nursing logs and more of the abundant green life of this remarkable ecosystem. Hey guys, I just wanted to point this out. We just found, as we were walking through this ancient trail, we had talked about it in our last video of these nursing trees that we saw out in the, which one was it?
Whole rainforest.
The whole rainforest, these nursing trees. And it's, we just found this one on the ancient trail in Soul Duck. And I'm gonna pan around here and start at the stump. This thing must have been a couple hundred years old at least. It was gigantic, but this is the stump that you can see right here, and you can see that it fell and it went that way, and we're going to follow this thing. It's amazing how far it goes. You can see it right there. It's just enormous. It goes all the way down over there, and you can see the new trees growing from it, how high they get. I mean, this must have been hundreds of years ago for it to do this. This is just insane. And it just keeps going. It's got these twists in it, and it just keeps going. Kind of broke down over time there, and then you can see it picks back up. It just is incredible how big this is. It just keeps going and going. So even though these trees fall, you know, from where I grew up in Southern California, if a tree goes down somewhere, it's, you know, it makes homes for little critters, and it has some purpose. But out here, it just keeps making life. You can see right there where it completely disintegrated, but that's the top of it. And now you've got more growth on it, and it goes all the way up to about right there where that other tree branch is forming with all that moss. But just an incredible thing to see. This is probably the biggest one I've seen out here, but they're all over, and they're really interesting. They're all different, but just an amazing thing to see. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay guys, hey, we just found another one, and again, like I said in the last one we saw, they're all a little different. This one really caught our eye, and it's just forming some of these little trees coming out of it. But over here you'll see what they call is the root wad. When a tree falls, the root system comes out. I mean, look at the size of that hole. This looks like it probably happened, I don't know, recently, and I don't know what that means, but the reason why I say that is that this dirt looks pretty fresh. Maybe within the last 10 years or so, maybe, I don't know. But you can see all these little seedling trees growing from the base of it all the way down this enormous tree. I gotta stay kind of on the trail. I don't want to get up too far off, but you can see just incredible. Now these are all going to become trees off of this down tree. Janine's laughing at me. We are on, what was it, Salmon Cascades Trail? Falls? Salmon Cascades Falls. It's a trail that we're coming up to Sol Duck here in Olympic National Park, and it just looks amazing. So we came today to find some waterfalls. Sol Duck is a popular place, so it's just beautiful. Obstruction Point is a dirt road that starts at the Hurricane Ridge main parking lot and traverses over 8 miles to a small parking lot, which acts as a trailhead for several trails, including the popular Badger Valley Grand Loop. We didn't make it to the end of the trail, but the short drive we took was sure a lot of fun. The drive from Elwha to Cape Flattery was about 80 miles on Highway 112. This is a two-lane highway full of twists and turns, with the average speed limit around 35 miles an hour. However, there were several stops along the way for construction, where the roads had been washed out and crews were making repairs. Though it was a long 80 miles, it was sure beautiful. The Makah tribe occupies Cape Flattery, which is located in the ancestral lands of the Makah people. This tribe has inhabited this area for thousands of years and is recognized as the Makah Indian Reservation.
All right, guys, today we're at Cape Flattery on the very northwest tip as far as you can travel by road in Washington State. And we're going to do about a 1.2 mile hike down to some rocks and check it out. Should be really interesting. Heard a lot of good things about it. It's on a Makah tribal reservation, and it's kind of a, I don't know, a fishing community and a small town that's got a little marina and just a neat place. And so we've got a special guest here we brought today. So everybody say hi to Lou. Lou's gonna wait for us in the car. Shouldn't be too long, but it was about an hour and 45 minutes from Port Angeles out here today. Just a gorgeous drive, really pretty, a lot of again, rainforest, which is common, and just a neat drive. Kind of rough on the way out. It had a lot of wavy roads, probably because of all the rain and weather that they get. It was 2 lanes, similar to PCH, maybe up by Big Sur in California. Similar drive, not as steep. You're kind of right there on the ocean, literally right there where the beaches are. No cliffs or anything like that, but just a neat drive. And looking forward to our hike, and we'll share with you some of that footage later on.
Alright guys, so we're going down to the other viewpoint here in Cape Flattery. A lot of these boardwalks are really nice. That I have in some of the other videos, but yeah, very a lot colder than it was at the other rainforest. It's kind of different over here. A couple hours away, maybe closer to the beach rather than being inland. It definitely it's probably 5 to 10 degrees cooler. Almost should have worn a jacket, even though the sun's out. Very brisk. Anyway, I gotta watch what I'm doing. I'm gonna fall. See ya. Well, Olympic National Park was more than we expected, and if you ever have a chance to visit this national treasure, we highly recommend it. It was really incredible. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click the subscribe button so you can find us on our next journey. Thank you. And where are we? We're in the, what is it?
Solduck
No.
Old Growth Forest.
What's it called? Ancient growth forest? Ancient
Grove Forest.
growth?
I don't know.
Ancient something. Ancient trail?
Ancient Forest.
Okay. Janine's laughing at me. We are on, what was it? Salmon Cascades Trail?
Falls.
Falls? Salmon Cascades Falls. It's a